Hi, I'm Jennet Ingle, the 5-Minute Reedmaker. If you're watching this on YouTube, will you go ahead and click subscribe, and that way you'll always know when I drop a new episode. Today I want to talk about a fifth method for constructing the tip and transition, which is something that I've been working with some of my clients recently. Whereas in general, when I construct the tip and transition of a reed, I do it in one fell swoop, one giant scoop and curl, and lots of people recently have been asking me about that. I also have, in previous videos, talked about different ways to go about this. I've talked about the 5-4-3-2-1 method. I have talked about just chicka, 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 gently driving cane away. But recently we've been talking about the technique of the double rooftop to make this process easier for people. Let's see if it helps you. In my Zero to Reedmaker course a week or two ago, we were talking about different ways of constructing the rooftop and the structure of that rooftop. So this is what I'm talking about when I speak of the rooftop, right? For me, that gutter here begins at about 65 millimeters. And as I look at the side view of the reed, I think about the thick heart here and the thinner tip here, the transition and the thinner tip, and different ways that you can structure that transition. I like a skateboard ramp. Some people prefer a curb to give them a slightly more immediate response. And some people have a real lazy handicapped ramp, such that you might like push your aging granny up in a wheelchair. And the result that you might end up with here is a more resistant reed, a more full sounding but resistant reed. But the actual issue is, how do you put that structure in place? As you know, as you've seen in multiple other videos, I am a proponent of a scoop and curl, a single gesture that pulls all of the cane off. But some people have trouble with that. And we've talked through a number of ways to do it, like the chicka chicka chicka, the 5-4-3-2-1 method. But recently, people have been talking to me about the double rooftop method. And roughly, this goes like so. If you start by building a real rooftop, up here at like 66 or 67 even, then it sort of doesn't matter what this part of the structure looks like, because that's not going to be where it lives. So in this version, my students just start at the top and build nice thin slopes up to the corners and get it all thin above this 67 millimeter mark. So they build that structure up here at 67, so that all they have to do is go back to 65 and focus on this precise region. A scoop without a curl, without having to scoop it all the way back out. They can only pay attention to the carving of this exact structure and not have to worry about doing it all in one fluid motion. And for many of my students, this was a lot easier. I'll show you on a reed. So here's my long scraped blank, and here's me just building in a very short, stubby rooftop up here. And look, I can't help but scoop and curl, right? I'm going to do it anyway. But the point is that this maneuver doesn't have to be careful. I can do too hard a cut in, too gentle a cut in. It doesn't matter, just so I really aim to get that corner thin. Now I've done that, but it's much too high. But now the only thing I have to focus on, rather than thinking about my entire scoop and curl all the way out to the corner, I can just focus on this little tiny area between my desired rooftop and the actual rooftop that I have. So I can cut in and sculpt it a little bit, and then just sort of smooth that transition out. And while you can see the delineations, it almost looks like a little bit of a staircase. There's plenty of time to go in and smooth that out later. I'll do it again over here. Just scooping, not curling, and then smoothing. I'll do it again and fix this side a little. And the result really winds up being just about the same. Here on my other blade, I'll go ahead and do my regular scoop and curl, cutting in at 65, pushing it all the way out. And another one like that. And then a little bit of brushing. So you can see that my version is a little more efficient, but I think I'm really getting to a very similar place. Here's the left side. And at this point, I sort of can't tell the difference between the two blades that I've just made. So if that feels helpful to you, if it feels helpful to you to consider making a high rooftop to focus on the thinness at the corners, and then bringing that rooftop back to focus on the exact transition area, maybe that is a way to get the tip and transition to be what you want it to be. That's maybe a little easier and less intimidating than my full-out scoop and curl maneuver. This has been a 5-minute Reedmaker lesson. I hope it has been helpful. You can follow these short videos right here on YouTube and subscribe if you wish. I hope you will. If you need to reach me to order reeds or cane, or to ask questions that I could answer in future 5-minute Reedmaker videos, you can find me at jennetingle.com. And I so look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.